Welcome. Great to see you. Great to see you. So happy that you are here. I feel so blessed that I am with you today. And for those of you who are meeting me here for the first time, I'm Marzuki, your host for this evening's interview session. We'll be starting the live event in just 4 minutes time. So I hope that you are ready, comfortable in front of your screen. And those of you who are already here in the studio, please put your comments there. Say, I'm in, I'm here, I'm ready to go, so that I know that you're there and I'm not talking to myself alone. So I'm so happy, so blessed. So I would like to thank you for joining the interview. Just as a reminder, this interview will go on for about an hour. And at any time you have any questions, you have any comments, please fill in those comments. Put in the questions there, and when appropriate, we'll address the questions. We'll come up with, we'll respond to those questions. Okay. So just be ready with an open mind, be ready to learn, be ready to explore what it is and what we have. Hi Saleha, good that you are here. I'm so excited that you are here, and I hope everyone else are ready to go. We'll be going live with our speaker for this evening, and we'll be starting in about 2 minutes. Waalaikumsalam, Nadrah. Thank you for being here. Good evening to you. Yes, we've got 2 comments there already. Hey, I'm so excited. I hope that you have been with us for the last 4 days. We have had excellent information, feedback from the people who have been here. Ya. Dan juga dalam sesi interview ni kita akan campur-campur, ya, campur-campur, cakap bahasa Melayu, cakap bahasa Inggeris, kita campur dua-dua, and I hope that it will be comfortable for you. Jadi kalau ada apa-apa yang tak faham tu, tanyalah kat situ. nanti kan kami tersasul terlebih sangat kan, excited sangat. So and this evening we are changing gears, so to speak. We've had a speaker to talk about mental and emotional health. We had a speaker talking about medicine in the area of medicine now, and then we had someone speaking in the area of personal finance, and yesterday we looked into the relief packages. Hi Mas Mona, Assalamualaikum, Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you for joining. Kita akan mula sebentar lagi, dalam masa seminit lagi insyaAllah kita akan mula. So great that you are here. Alhamdulillah. Jadi kalau ada orang duk komen kat situ, then I know that dah ada orang. Because kat studio ni I do not know, I cannot see siapa yang masuk to the live, sehingga kan you put in the comment. Bila you put in the comment, then I know that you're there. Okay, so so now we are at 9 o'clock, so we are ready to go. So let me check with my admin. So checking, are we ready to go live? Hi Ines, thank you that you're here. I'm so glad that you're here, Ines. And just to mention, Ines, that we'll be using 2 languages this evening. We'll be using English and also Bahasa Melayu. So you need to step up learning Bahasa Melayu very quickly. And for those of you who are already here, Ines is watching this live presentation from Brazil. Ya, jadi kita ada daripada Brazil juga. And Hasma, Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So it is already 9:01. So are you ready to begin? Good. Alhamdulillah. So just checking with admin so that we can start the session. And I believe that Ibu Rose is already in the studio right now, just waiting. Hi, Cici, Chacha, and Mas Mona is ready. Natra ready, inshallah. Alhamdulillah. Good to have you. And so welcome to the live event. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And Ibu Rose, thank you for joining us. Alhamdulillah, good to see you. Tersenyum-senyum lagi tu.
Thank you, because there was something happened just now.
So, ladies and gentlemen who are here, welcome to the interview series on going beyond survival to long-term sustainable holistic wealth. And thank you to all of you who are here. There are a few more names that I want to welcome. Ibu Rose, yeah? We have Ozi, Nisrina, Norin, Alia, Rosnani, Shoaib, Fida Hassan, and Evie Chan from Hong Kong. Evie, good to have you here. And Nur Cahaya, Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you for being here. In this series, we invite experts from various backgrounds to inform about the impact of the crisis from their particular expertise, because the expertise that people have, this pandemic that is happening right now is impacting us in many different dimensions. Initially, we thought this is just the health dimension. At the same time, when we talk about health, there is the mental, emotional aspect, and that is why we decided to have this event so that we can look at the various aspects that is impacting us. So, and the purpose is so that we don't just focus on surviving, because for many people we are just thinking about surviving, because the impact is tremendous. At the same time, what we want to bring is we want to bring your mind forward beyond survival to create long-term sustainability for yourself. So that is what we are going to be focused on. So I thank you for being here. And what we have is we have had speakers coming from the expertise of mental and emotional health. That was Scott Friedman on, I think it was on Wednesday. On Thursday, we had Professor Dr. Mafauzi. He came with the approach, the medical approach, how it's affecting us. And then on Friday, we had Rajan Davadesan. He approached it from the financial management, the personal finance, what we need to do in this particular situation. And then yesterday evening, we had Mohamed, the CEO of Bank Islam Malaysia, talking about the packages, the relief packages that the government and the public sector is bringing in order to alleviate the condition. So, and for this evening, we'll be shifting gears. So before we go into the topic, I'd just like to say hi to Sheila from Manila, Lina, Yaya, Norfendi, Waalaikumsalam warahmatullah, Miss Erin, Kasih Adriana, and to Rosia Johan. So thank you to all of you for being here. And I would just like to remind, especially to our friends listening from outside of Malaysia, we have Sheila from the Philippines, Evie from Hong Kong, Ines from Brazil, that this particular interview will be mixing two languages together, will be bringing English and Bahasa Melayu together. So if you are not familiar with Bahasa Melayu, contact me later and maybe I'll teach you. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. So let's move on to this topic on parenting beyond going beyond survival in the new normal. And this evening we have Rosita Sha'ari, also known as Ibu Rose. She's the director of Love World Resources. Ibu Rose is an international author, inspirational speaker, and TV personality. TV lagi tu ya. She is also a love and family guru who has worked with learners of all ages. Her devotion and interest in the field of human psychology and development has led her to do extensive research in this field and eventually steered her to be a renowned figure in the field of family, parenting, and human capital development. And having said that, I would like to again welcome Ibu Rose, and thank you, Evie, for the for the clap. So Ibu Rose, what I would like to begin with is in the context of parenting. So the topic that you are bringing, going beyond survival in the new normal, I imagine that parents may be thinking about survival, having their children 24/7. So what is the relevance of this topic in the context of the crisis that we are facing, and what possible benefits that the viewers will get from our interview today?
Thank you so much, and I would just like to say thank you to everybody. Waalaikumsalam to those who give me salam, and thank you for all the the viewers from overseas and also from Malaysia. I'll be speaking in both languages because many of my followers from Facebook, they are more well versed in bahasa Malaysia. So I'll be speaking in both languages. Saya akan bercakap dalam dua bahasa, insyaAllah, and you will see me very versatile. So before I answer your question, Coach Marzuki, I would like to ask this question to you. This today is the 5th interview, right? Why are you wearing the same T-shirt?
Have you not?
Doesn't your wife wash your clothes?
Have you not watched Charlie Brown in Peanuts? Charlie Brown only wears the same clothes every day. Oh, I wear the same type of shirt every day, not the same one. I have four of the same, and I rotate them. Steve Jobs does the same thing, okay?
Okay. So your wife did wash your clothes, or you wash yourself?
I wash them myself, thank you.
Okay, thank you. The reason is I asked that question because, I've been doing a lot of, been interviewed many times on TV or what. But today I feel butterfly in my stomach. I don't know why. What have you done that caused me to have butterfly in my stomach? So, Coach Marzuki, the question is, that you asked, how relevant is this for us?
Yes.
How relevant it is to go beyond what we are facing now, apa yang kita lalui sekarang ni, apakah relevannya topik ini atau relevannya parenting ini kepada keadaan yang kita sedang hadapi sekarang? What is the relevance of it? This parenting to what we are facing now. Is that what your question was?
Yes.
Okay. So the thing is that family is who we are. We are our true self with our family, isn't it not? So if we can be the best person that we can be in this situation that is very challenging, we can be the best anywhere. So sekiranya kita boleh menjadi seorang yang betul-betul tulen that we are, and be a great example in our family, we can be a great example anywhere else. And at the end of this program, you will see that what is happening to us now is a blessing. It is not something that is bukan sesuatu. It's not something that is that should make us become weaker. It should make us become stronger. So in the end, di akhir perbincangan kita nanti, kita akan sedar betapa sebenarnya COVID-19 ni. And once we understand what COVID-19 is about to us, kepada kita, kita akan menjadi lebih berdaya, kita akan jadi lebih mampu, lebih tegas, lebih faham macam mana kita nak bergerak di dalam hidup ini. Sebab cabaran tetap akan datang, satu demi satu cabaran. Challenges happen every day, one after another. Maybe today is COVID, maybe next day is something else. But what we need to understand is that for every challenges that happen in our life, are we going to become weaker? Or are we going to become stronger? Do we just want to survive, or we want to go beyond survival? So that is go beyond survival. So this is what this topic is about. Because to me, family, parenting is about raising humanity. It is where our first school is. We understand the world in the Neuro-Semantic language. The model of the world of a person is through the parenting. The first school is from the mother, from the father. So that's why it is very relevant to me. And this topic, before we go further, and let us understand what parenting is. Let us understand ke mana, mari kita faham ke mana kita nak bawa parenting kita ni. Sebenarnya, adakah hanya untuk pastikan anak kita dapat A? Is it only so that our children get good education? So what is it about parenting? So I would just like to bring this perspective. In any organization, we have vision. Vision give everybody in the organization know the direction of what to achieve. How about organization? How about family organization? A family adalah organisasi juga. A family is also an organization. Do we have a vision in our family? In our parenting, where do we want to bring our children towards? So if we cannot understand this, then everything that happened in our life, we become the victim of what happened, rather than we become the victor. Bila kita tidak faham vision kita, matlamat, purpose, tujuan, ke mana arah dia, maka apa sahaja cabaran yang datang, kita hanya menjadi mangsa. Kita tidak boleh berdaya untuk menjadi seorang yang mampu. Kerana satu benda yang kita kena faham, cabaran tetap akan datang, satu after satu. Challenges always happen, one after another. So this is something that we need to understand. Okay, so vision of parenting is what Covey said. In anything that we do, we need to have begins with the end in mind. Al-Farabi, the Muslim philosopher, said the parenting is about bringing our children to heaven, so that our children become the best version of themselves. And for them to be the best version of themselves, we need to be the best version in ourselves. To self-actualize ourselves, to be the best that we can be. And to be the best we can be is a process. So our mission every day is to help our children to be better than they were before. To help our children to be the best of themselves, one step at a time. And to do this, we require competencies. And the component in competency are three components. Yeah, three components. I'm looking at the question that teacher is giving some question or that I will look at this question later, ya sayang. Okay, now three components. I will be mixing the language. If you find that you cannot follow, can you just let me know so that I can repeat some of the points that I might have not said it in another language. So kalau ibu ada tersebut sesuatu yang ibu mungkin cakap dalam bahasa Inggeris tapi tak cakap dalam bahasa Melayu, can you please just note kat situ supaya apa namanya ibu akan dapat cakapkan dalam bahasa Melayu. So we require skills. Sorry, we require competency. And I will mention all this so that before we can answer the question, when we have put the foundation of what we are talking about, then it's easier for us to see how whatever that question that will come, we will be able to build on that. Just like when we do not have a foundation on anything, so everything go haywire. So it's just like having a fruit bowl, a context, or maybe if we want to build a building, we need to have a foundation, strong foundation. So the thing is this, in order for us to be able to help and bring our children to have to and help them to be the best version of themselves, okay, we need to be the best version of ourselves. So we need to also have this competency to do. So the component of competencies are our attitude, our skills, and our knowledge. Now let me ask you this question. Kompetensi, komponen dalam kompetensi adalah sikap kita, skill kita, knowledge kita. Now, let me ask you this question. During this COVID-19, does the vision of parenting change? Adakah visi dalam parenting itu berubah dalam cabaran COVID-19? Let me ask this question. I want to see whether you can answer me. Yeah, I know there is a little bit of light. Of course not. Tak kan? It doesn't change. We still hope and want our children to be the best version of themselves. We want to help them to be the best version of themselves. Now, what changed then? What changed is the skill, perhaps, the knowledge that we need to acquire, skills, for example, there are skills about that we need to have, how to work from home with our children around. That's a skill that we need to have. So, kalau apa yang berlaku adalah skill ini mungkin berubah. Kerana skill ini, kerana keadaan semasa, working from home memerlukan skill yang berbeza dari working at the office. So kenapa why many mothers especially are facing challenges and they are driving themselves bonkers and thinking that they are a bad mother or many mothers think that they are bad mothers because they cannot cope with their children, they cannot become the tutor, they just overwhelmed with so many responsibilities. And they come to the conclusion in saying that I'm a bad mother. I cannot teach my children. I don't know how to teach my children. And I don't know how to cope with work. And they come to the point whereby they almost break down. Now sayang, dengar sini. This is a new normal. Be compassionate with yourself because this is something new. Everything that is easy now was one very hard. It was very hard to walk. When you were small, it was very hard to walk, but you persist. You learn the skill, you learn the strategy, you learn the technique. So now what happened now is that we are actually at the point, if it is about competency, let me give you some idea. Yeah. About competency. First, many people, they are not aware that they are not aware. They are unconscious, they are not competent. They are unconscious that they are not competent to work from home with the children around them. So you were unconscious incompetent in that area. Jadi kita.
So what are the demands of working from home? So
for example,
what's different? For
example, you have to attend to your work at the same time, your children need you to help them with their schoolwork. Sometimes one household only have one phone, and the teachers need to teach the children using to have Zoom classes and all that. So these are the challenges that many are facing. Ya, banyak menghadapi keadaan ini yang menyebabkan, and sometimes because children they are not properly told, they thought that it is hari raya. So you know, the first week of PKP, the first week of MCO, right? Many I receive a lot of quite a lot of question. Ramai minta tolong, ibu macam mana anak-anak ni tak boleh you know, I've been feeding them, saya rasa macam penat sangat. I've been feeding them 6 times in 1 hour, 1 jam makan sampai 6 kali. Yang husband pun join sekali, masak lah, masak tu, masak ni. And but the wife need to work at the same time. So the children don't know because the children was not informed. Because we take for granted that they know what's going on. They don't know. They need to be told. They need to be addressed. The thing need to be shared. What is happening around them now? What is this COVID-19? What is it that they need to do? And all that need to be told to them and get their their cooperation, how they can actually help one another, help you, for example. So I just would like to share about this level of competency so that you understand why many mothers and many parents, they are going through this with a lot of burnout, like burnout kan. Sebab they first, you don't know that you don't know how to work from home. Before, you might have work from home, but your children go to school. So it is totally, now it's different. Your children don't go to school. You have to work from home at the same time, look after them, look at their work, schoolwork and all. So you don't have that skill. So now you realize that you are conscious incompetent in that area. So when you realize that you are conscious incompetent, so you feel that you need to learn, you need to acquire the skill. What do you need to do? You need to strategize, because when you start, bila dah mula tersedar bahawa you tak tahu, bila you sedar you tak tahu, maka you kena belajar. Because now it is a new skill that is required. And you know, it is the changes happen so fast. You sleep in one night, and then the next day is totally a different world. And some of you, you know, tidak bersedia. You are not prepared for that. It was quite a sudden, because we were not prepared. But when suddenly you realize the children are at home, you need to tutor them because the teachers are away, and you need to work from home. You have KPI that you need to meet and all that. But yeah, to some organization, they give some time for the workers to adjust. But now still working from home. Now we have already almost coming to 3 months PKPB. Many have to work from home as well. So once we realize that we are not competent in that area, the resourceful choice that we want to take is to learn the skill. That's what I said. The vision doesn't change, but the skills might need to, we need to learn new skills. So what do you need to do? So you ask the right question. So what is it that you want at the end of this week, or at the end of every day? What is it that you want? Ask that question. So I want my children to be able to wake up early in the morning, so that they will be able to everything will be in proper order. I would like to have be able to meet my KPI. So these are the things that you said, that is what you want. So the next question you ask is, how can I do that? Because I cannot give you the answer. because your kind of work might be different. So that is apa namanya, ibu tak boleh nak cakap apa yang spesifik yang you kena buat kerana kerja you itu mungkin unik, ya, mungkin unik, tak sama dengan yang lain. So kita tak boleh pukul borong, we cannot just generalize. But the point is that ask the right question, be clear of what you want, because our children is not nuisance. Don't ever think sebab the sikap, the attitude in the competency component of the competency, the attitudes towards parenting, the attitude doesn't change. Our children is still our responsibility. They are dalam in Malay we say that adalah amanah yang dianugerahkan, anugerah yang diamanahkan. If we were to translate it in English, can you help me, Coach Mars, how to translate anugerah yang diamanahkan?
The gift that has been given as a responsibility to you.
Yes, that is, and we are to set right example to them. That does not change. But what change will be, it does not change. The skill does not change, but it need to be enhanced. So you need to learn the skill of coaching or tutoring your children. You might not be the subject matter expert. If it is maths, you are not expect to learn maths. But if you can, why not? If your children are sekolah rendah, primary school, maybe you can learn. The point is that to teach your children require a certain attitude, a certain skill, and certain knowledge about the phase, in the maturity phase in the development of children. So
maybe if I can just summarize what you have said so far, is that if we were to observe parents prior to the pandemic, is that you are performing your roles at different time. A certain hour of the day you are performing your role as a worker, then certain hour of the day you are performing your role as a parent. So there is that clear-cut switch between roles. So that is why you are so used to that. That is why it has become easy. It becomes unconscious competent. When the pandemic came, what happened is that now you have to bring all the roles plus an additional at the same time. You are playing the role of the worker, playing the role of parents, and now the added role as a tutor, all at the same time. So now it is a skill of managing the head. So how do you juggle those various hats? Probably the first thing is to recognize that you need to wear the different hats at the same time.
You said it already. The first thing is to embrace it, because there's no point for us to be angry about what's happening to us now. There's a lot of blessing that is happening to us due to this COVID-19. Later we'll discuss about that. Jadi yang pertama adalah untuk kita menerima, count our blessing. All this while, many mothers, I say mothers, cry at night, cry in the car because they have to leave their children early in the morning while the children are still sleeping, and came back home at night when the children are already sleeping. Many mothers cry because they cannot see their children. So now the situation gives us this opportunity to see our children in front of our eyes every day. So first is to accept, to understand that this is something that we can work on. Because at the moment we are conscious incompetent. We can move towards conscious competent by learning the skill, by learning how to juggle the hats. For example, practical example that I will give to you. For example, you don't have much time to cook, so don't cook every meal. Cook all your meal in the morning. Wake up early in the morning, cook your breakfast, and then cook your lunch and dinner right there. make it as simple as possible. And some of you maybe kalau you nak masak kari, ujung nak masak all these gravy things apa semua tu, mungkin simpan dalam peti ais and put inside the fridge. Because when you need it, just heat it back and then you can tambah dengan, you can add eggs and all and veggie and all that. But the cooking time will be cut down a lot. And get your children, because your children actually, they already go to school. Mereka memang pergi sekolah, yang pergi sekolah ni. Dan mereka memang dah bangun pagi dah pun. They already wake up early in the morning. So, just follow the routine. Why is it that during this PKP, you allow them to wake up late? Just follow the routine. You want to allow them to wake up late over the weekend, that's different. But follow the routine. They wake up what time? And then they start doing what is it that they need to do. So get the routine, set the routine. If you don't have routine, then set the routine and make it simple and be patient for them to adapt to the routine, because everybody are in this chaos. So the danger is when we push one another, but we will be less stressful when we are able to be more compassionate to one another. Bila kita boleh bertolak ansur, boleh tenang. Kalau cikgu, there are a lot of complaints saying that the teachers should not get their salary. My God, why do we have to say all those things? The teachers, they want to teach the children. They want to teach. Some of them is missing their student. But they cannot go to your house and teach. So this kind of attitude of saying this person patut dipotong gaji, cut their salary, because that will make the whole thing become worse. How about for us to be more compassionate? We are in this together.
The state, so what are the states that will be useful for parents?
The state that will be useful for parents is the state of acceptance, the state of giving, the state of exploring, joyful exploring. How about teaching my child how to learn multiplication, and to be excited about it. And for children, I remember when I was when my third and my fourth son, children follow me to Bintulu. When I have to do presentation, have to conduct a program, they followed me. So when I have to do the presentation in the classroom, in the seminar room, I put them in a room whereby they learn multiplication. At the end of how many days was that? About 6 days. They learn all the multiplication from multiplication 2 until 12, both of them. At that time, Umay was 10 years old and Anas was 8 years old. And Anas would get the benefit because he learned multiplication when he was in standard 2. Sepatutnya itu syllabus standard 4. So what I'm trying to say is, I'm bringing this example is to understand that when we are in difficulty, the state is the state of gratefulness. That's what Scott says. The GPS, gratitude, being grateful, feeling blessed, understand what is happening, and count the blessing. Then we will be able to go through these challenges beautifully. Our children are looking at us, how we conduct ourselves in this trying time. Anak-anak kita sebenarnya melihat diri kita, melihat contoh dari kita, macam mana kita melalui cabaran ni. What are the conversation at the dinner table? Every day, what is our conversation at dinner table? Are we blaming others? Are we saying bad things about others? Are we kutuking? Adakah kita mengutuk orang itu, mengutuk orang semasa kita at the dinner table? Because that is where the children learn unconsciously. So to be aware of our state, but of course it's difficult at first. But that is what this is teaching us. That's what COVID-19 is teaching us, to be our highest and best self, as much as as many moments as we can, because our children are there to see us. Nobody else is seeing us, only the family. During the PKB, it's only the family. So if we have not been the best version of ourselves, then we need to be. We need to work. We need to work on ourselves. So it is to be able to go beyond survival require us to be a better version of ourselves before this, because it's not, we are not aiming for survival, we are aiming to make that great difference. So this COVID-19 is helping us to put our foundation strong, so that we can spend our time with ourselves, because that is where it should begin. Our intrapersonal need to be developed strongly. Shaimat says, teach the elders and let the elders teach the second one. And the second child teach the third child. Save time, but most of all, help the children learn and understand the subject on another level, especially when they try to teach. Exactly. It is not about memorization. It is about loving the knowledge. It's about seeing how the knowledge is relevant to our everyday life. It is about self-directed learning. Actually, in learning in Malaysia, we actually already wanted to start self-directed learning. However, we want to start it in the future, but the future is now. So children love to learn. Actually, children really love to learn. Betul tak, Coach Z? Coach Mas, betul tak?
Oh,
Sorry.
yes.
Yeah, right. They will not stop. They will not stop learning. In fact, they will stop eating rather than stop learning. But they learn by playing. Can.
And probably there's something that Ibu Rose, you want to highlight,
Okay.
because parents they get stressed out because the children are playing all day long, and it's just that parents don't recognize or appreciate that play and learning is one and the same for children.
Yes. You know what? Grandparents need to learn. Grandparents need to play with their grandchildren. And they're just joking with you. Actually, yes. Because children learn by playing. When we were younger, masa kita muda kan, when we were younger, we play a lot. And you remember, 5 minutes means so much to us. If we are asked to go to sleep and we ask for 5 minutes, and we feel that, oh, our mother gave us 5 minutes to play, and that means so much to us. Do you remember that feeling? Because there's so much learning happen during playing. So that's why children love to play. And playing is learning. So if you can teach the children by playing, there's a lot that they can do. For example, they want to learn, for example, because some of you, your children standard 1, and this pandemic happened, right? So they only start to learn ABC and all that. Instead of teaching them A, B, C and writing, you can play Do and ask them to make A, B, C and all that. You can do many things. If you find it difficult, go and Google how to teach your children the fun way. That you'll find it, and maybe you can come together. Mothers come together, give ideas. Actually, there are many places that you can go to. I know of one place called Little Finger. You can go to the Instagram. She has what you call. She teach my parents, mothers especially, how to play with their children, and by playing mean learning. Yeah. Okay. So where was I?
So what are some of the because you have been interacting with parents, especially mothers, during this MCO. So what are some of the problems that they are facing, and what strategies have you advised them to take in order to overcome those?
Okay. Yeah, I've been I've been asked in many situations. Sometimes because I do a lot of live. That's why I'm alive. Okay. Actually, yes. When I do live, I become alive. Actually, because yeah, they ask question about how do they cope. Because some of them they have children like us. When we were first got married, we have 4 children. Zoop like that. Within 5 years, we have 4 children. That's not my fault. Okay. By the way, for those of you who don't know, Marzuki is my husband. We share the same bed. Okay. So sometimes I like to tease him. Okay. Anyway, so they ask question like, how do I cope with this children that of different age? I mean, close age, 2 years, 4 years, 6 years, 8 years. And Shaima just now gave a very good example. Teach the eldest and help the eldest teach the second and the third and the fourth. And when you teach your eldest, please be kind. Please be compassionate. Otherwise, you will see yourself when your elders teach the younger one. You'll see you. The words that you say and all that. Teach with compassion. Okay, so and then there are other things, for example, like coping every day. Children doesn't want to listen to them. Some of them staying with their parents, so their grandparent overrule their rules and all that. So that issue uh, memang ada yang macam tu. So what do we do? So I said the thing is that is the issue on leadership. Mean to say with your children you have not managed to actually get their I don't like to use the word respect. They do respect you, but they don't they do not see your authority. So that is something that you need to learn. All these things that happen to us, and we find that it is a challenge for us, is actually like a mirror in front of us and tell us that this is the things that you need to improve on yourself. Because the moment you start improving, you will find that you become a better person, you become a more able person. But if you do not want to look at it and you do not want to embrace it or menerima, embrace it and understand that that is my not so strong areas now. So what can I do about it? So when you have that challenge, learn, find someone you can learn from, and then get over it, get and overcome that. Because the moment you sedar, the moment you understand you are at the conscious incompetent, the next thing to do is to get yourself to be conscious competent. This is just like driving a car. If you were to ask a 6-year-old, can you drive a car? Of course, the 6 years old say that I can drive a car, but of course, it's not true. Betul tak? It's not true. Budak 6 tahun. Azahra, our eldest, at the age of about less than a year, she thought that she
Eldest
can.
grandchild,
Yeah. What did I
not
say
our
just now?
eldest child. You say
Sorry,
our
sorry.
eldest.
Our eldest grandchild. Okay, we have 10 grandchildren. Okay. Okay. She thought that she can send her Matsu to school and drive Matsu to school. At that time, she was only almost 1 years old. She doesn't know that she doesn't know. Unconscious incompetent. And suddenly, then she realized that she was conscious about her inability to drive. And still, and now she is only 11 going 12, she still not doesn't learn how to drive. The point is, like for us initially we don't know how to drive, and then we learn how to drive, and then we become conscious competent. We know how to drive, and later on we become unconscious competent. Sambil driving boleh pakai makeup lagi. While driving, you can put your makeup and all this, and you can, so many things at the same time, multitasking, because you are so you already reached the unconscious competence. So at this point where we are facing this challenge, be kind to yourself. Know that you are at the stage of learning, the stage of learning new skill, because now it is a new normal. The world, the way things are done, businesses are done, everything is new. So we need to be kind to ourselves. We can find ways how we can work with the teachers, and understand the teachers, their limitation, their what they can give and what they can't give. Take ownership of your own children's learning. For example, if you need to bring in tutor using Skype or using Zoom, you can do that for those who have more money to do it. So solve the problem one after another, and just see that you become such more capable person, because now you can do your work while your children are around. And isn't that not a blessing to see your children when they wake up and you are there, when they go to sleep and you are there? Isn't it not a blessing? We have been asking this for so long. And maybe after this, organization can think of how can this be the new normal, and it is still become highly more productive, more effective. That's the question that we want to start answering, because this is when we start looking at it from the positive angle, we will find more positive solution.
If I may just point out over here, because we have been talking about the areas of competencies.
Mm-mm.
So listening from you, what I what I am getting is that in the area of uh, competencies right now, parents are already, I would say, competent in the area of work as a worker,
Mm-mm.
and parents are already competent as parents. So one challenge that they have, the skill that they need to learn, is the skill of managing the roles, to the skill of being flexible enough in changing the roles, because before the lockdown they can become a worker and come back home become a parent. Now they need the skill of being flexibly interchanging the roles. So that's probably one skill that they can focus on. The other is the added role of a tutor. So now they need to learn the skill of how to be a tutor, to be a teacher. And what you rightly mentioned, if you find that that is not the skill that you can get
You can
for
do,
yourself,
because some people
then
some people cannot teach their own children. They become lioness or dragons. Actually, can actually once you understand the skill, because I do have this program called Help Your Children Score A. I think I'm going to turn that into an online program, because that will help many parents actually how to teach their children. It also look into the three components, the competencies. Yeah. So
and
actually to
and
be, sorry.
and this is also goes into the beliefs that parents have about themselves, that parents
Mm,
have about their children.
yeah.
If the parents have the belief that children know nothing and I have to teach them everything, I think that's when the parents will have a lot of problems.
Yes. And you can also teach your children how to cook. You can teach your
Hmm.
children how to wash dishes, how to wash clothes, and to understand what going on with washing clothes and all that. It is going to be discovery. I just like to answer this question from Suryati. I just saw this question. Ibu, anak memang suka bermain tapi suka main game PS4, iPad, TikTok. I translate into English. Suryati said that the children just love to play, but they love to play games, PS4, iPad, TikTok. The thing is, sweetheart, bagi ibu lah, ya. Sebenarnya semua itu adalah atas kita, leadership kita. So sebenarnya kenapa mereka main iPad, kenapa mereka main TikTok, because as parents kita tak betul-betul ambil masa untuk explain pada mereka benda ni. Dia ada masa untuk bermain. Boleh main iPad tu, boleh tengok, tapi ada masa. If you find that your children terlebih dalam bab itu, you can, sebagai seorang ibu dan seorang parent, you can ask them not to do that. Yeah, you can ask them to stop doing that. You can teach them. You can, you boleh bantu mereka untuk nampak kenapa bermain benda tu tidak mendatangkan. Sebenarnya dia tidak sihat. It is not good for the brain when it is continuous. What we were saying about games just now, games that learning games, for example, main masak-masak, what else, jigsaw puzzle, dough and all, and other than just iPad, yeah, other than just PS4 and TikTok. TikTok ni boleh, you can, but you look at the creativity. Sometimes I don't know about TikTok. I'm not so good. I don't quite understand yet TikTok, but I can see that many of the children, they do TikTok. They have to choreograph a certain movement and things like that. So if that come into the learning, you can be creative on that. Ya, Suryati, so dari situ Suryati kena lebih asah lagi your leadership, because tak boleh biarkan if that is the only thing that they love, then it is not really advisable. Yeah, so I was answering Suryati about that, and I said that if that is what they only like to play, then you as a parent need to understand that you are in the leadership role. You need to let them know that they cannot just play with their iPad, their PS4 and TikTok. That thing is, if it is just that, then it is not going. I don't advise that, actually. I do not advise that. There's a lot of questions, Coach. Coach
So if you want to address the question, because we are already at 9:53, so maybe if you want to address some of those questions.
Yeah, actually, there's a lot of other things I want to say, but maybe I'll say this first. Who is this COVID-19 actually? Because when we realize that, I'm not answering COVID-19 as a virus. We know that. Prof. Datuk Dr. Mafauzi already mentioned that he is a renowned figure. He knows, he talk about it from the medical aspect. But I just like to bring our perspective to this COVID-19 and what this COVID-19 does to us. Let's count the positive things that happened since COVID-19. Okay, there are many things, but I just like to focus on the positive things. For example, you start to be able to stay at home, see your children more. And in many houses, they start to, for the Muslim, you start to pray together as Jama'ah. And maybe in the people of faith, they start to have congregation in a family as a family. That bring the closeness. And recently, during the Ramadan, semasa Ramadan, many household do the tarawih prayer, bersemayam tarawih, and the husband lead the prayer instead of all this while we go to the masjid, we go to the mosque, but now the husband is leading, led the prayers. So some of the husband, they are not used to that, but because of that challenge, they rise to the challenge and they actually lead the tarawih prayer. Isn't it not beautiful? Where the husband or the father actually rise to the challenge of being a leader, because that's what man is in a family. And during the raya, the puas, the raya, there is a prayer, and many father, many husband, they become the imam, and they read the khutbah, and they lead the prayers, which is so beautiful, right? So what is COVID-19 is actually, my perspective is, I look at it as, yes, it is a challenge too, and it is also a blessing that brings us all together. we see our partners, and we have more time to look at our partners. Yes, maybe there are cases that quarrel happen, orang berkelahi and things like that, domestic violence. That's another issue with this domestic violence. Apa dia, domestic violence ni, what happened is that I hope that somebody will address this issue. I hope the government will address this issue. But at the same time, what can we do about that? Those, for me, what I do every day when I wake up in the morning, when I can, I will go to my window and I will make prayer and look at the people. I can only see few. Not my view is not so big, but I pray for everyone. I pray for, and I can see an apartment in front of me, and I pray for all those people, any of the families that are facing challenges. I pray for them. So this is prayers is something that we can do. We can start giving. One of the reasons why Malaysia, we do not suffer much is because there are so many kind people in this Malaysia. And people that help one another, bersedekah, helping, membantu. And this is something that is so beautiful that actually once we understand, as mothers, we start to rise. We start to raise our ability to be able to tutor our children, to be able to cook. And as a husband, start helping. And some husband help to cook. And some husband help to sidai kain. Apa namanya? What is it? Coach Mas? Sidai kain is what? Hang the clothes
to dry.
Yeah. Help, because in the house is not the responsibility of the woman alone. The house is where we live. We want it to be clean, everybody cleans the house. So that, to me, once we understand this, get this right, and then later on when we are able to get over this COVID-19, we'll be able to appreciate even more. And yesterday, Encik Muazzam, the CEO of the Bank Islam, talk about all the what is it?
Relief packages.
Relief packages. We are in a country that is compassionate. It is so beautiful. So when we are able to count this blessing, get our children to understand that. Talk about that at the dinner table. That is our conversation. Surround our house with gratefulness, gratitude, GPS that Scott says. And for those parents who find that their work is at the challenge at the moment, go and find new job. As what Rajan was saying, right?
Rajan.
Yes. So we do what we can do. And we count our blessing. And we will see that challenges are just there to make us greater people. And we can be that greater people. Because the aim of parenting is to be the best version, to help our children to be the best version of themselves, and we be the best version of ourselves. How do we do that? Become better than we were yesterday. And as we move on, become better than we were yesterday. And we help more people than we helped yesterday. We say good words, more good words today than yesterday, the next day than yesterday. So when we start doing this, we are changing the world. The thing is about this pandemic. If we focus on the negative things, we are creating the negative ripple effect. But if we, as a whole, start to focus on the positive things, so we shift the mass consciousness to positivity, and by the law that govern us, but the law of our creator, the law of deliberate creation, in the law of attraction. Under that, there is a law of deliberate creation. When we understand this, our mind and our heart join everyone together, as many of us that we can, and we shift it. This is what we call the mass consciousness. We shift it. Then we'll see the world become a better place. And that's why I wrote this book. how this work, a love work. I'm not selling it, but just telling you that I wrote the book, published internationally. So, Coach Mas, is there anything else I need to
So,
say?
so what frames, what mindsets that the parents need to adopt, need to take on for themselves that will make them more flexible, more adaptable to the changing situation. So, what kind of beliefs, what kind of mindsets do they need to take in order to be able to handle, because some of them were saying that the children were jumping all over the house, breaking this and that. So what mindsets do they need to take about themselves and about children in order for them to be able to handle the situations better?
I will take a deep breath on that. And when I say this, I say it from my heart that you are a wonderful person. You have the resource inside of you to overcome those challenges. Those challenges happen in front of you for you to dig inside and understand what you have not been doing right, that you can right it. So if the children are jumping here and there, it shows that you do not have proper rules in your house. That the children are challenging you that because the erratic behavior is due to their feeling not secure. Because in this situation with the pandemic, what are the conversation that is said in the house? The children can feel your vibes. If you are and you are always angry, if you are always feeling fearful, the children can feel that, and that make them become erratic. That is a sample of erratic behavior. But if you can calm yourself down, find a way to do that. Ibu ada cara dia, ibu boleh bantu. But now today, as you know, I cannot uh, share it. But you can go to my page, because from time to time I will be sharing how you can do centrism, center yourself. And if for the people, for Muslims, start praying, start making sure that you pray on time. For the people of faith, do your prayers, because prayers, the house that prayers are done, you can feel the energy is very calming. You can also put something like that I put, that is my what you call essential oil, rose love, that will help.
So I
And
thought that was your plantation.
yeah, I put it in my room because plants give me a feeling of calmness. So purposely do that. So these are all exterior things that help the to your inner self as well, your inner being. So if you find that your children are not calm, chances are because you are not calm. So Ibu say this with kindness. So the mind that you need, children are good. That is the mindset. Your children are good. You are good. You are a wonderful person. You just need to learn the skill. You need to add more knowledge and correct your attitude. Then you'll be able to move from conscious incompetent to conscious competent, and later on it become you, it become your character, because character is built this way. Thoughts become words, become action, become habit, become character, and character leads you to your destiny. So you want happiness or you want misery. So at the thought level, because thought will singgah kat situ, and when you say yes to the thought, Coach Mas jadi apa? What is it that it become?
It
Become
becomes a
your
belief.
belief. Become a belief. So this belief is the one that you see happening around you. You believe your children cannot behave, you see your children cannot behave. So start believing the right belief, resourceful belief. Because if you think anything that is not what you want, check what you believe inside. Because you are a wonderful person. You deserve wonderful life. You deserve meaningful life. You deserve to make positive difference in this world. Don't just ask what other people can do for you. Now, to go beyond survival is to rise and ask, what can I do to make a positive difference in this world now? in anything that I do. If you don't have money, start writing posting that can help elevate the feeling of happiness in people. If you don't know how to write, share postings that will help so that more people will read the positive postings and start sending wonderful prayers to people. That's how we can help change the mass consciousness to positivity so that we can rise above this COVID-19 and become a better nation. And it all starts with our parenting of ourselves, then parenting of our children.
So thank you for saying that. What I am also detecting from what you are saying, the other skill that, this is a core skill that parents, because parents are leaders, and the core skill in leadership is the skill of managing your own states, your mental and emotional states. So that's a skill. So that is another skill that probably you want to learn to manage your
Yes.
states. At times you are, you emote, you feel unresourceful state, feeling, as what you mentioned, feeling unsettled, feeling upset, feeling angry, feeling frustrated with children. Those are unresourceful states that may cause you to speak out or behave in ways that can hurt or harm the child. So as parents, having the skill of how to manage that state, to quickly shift into states that are loving and kind, and to be able to speak to children in those ways.
Sweetheart. I can call you sweetheart, right? Because you're my husband. Okay. And I will have to say, and I would like to say this, when you want to learn about how to manage your state, learn from Coach Mas. Because this is what I observe, and he's able to teach in terms of the process to be able to handle your state, manage your state, to change from being angry to be calm in a very fast and easy and safe way. So I just like to say that to you. It maybe later you can ask him on his Facebook. Maybe he can share some. So I just would like to answer some question, Coach Mas. Can I? May
Yes,
I?
go ahead. Yeah.
Pendapat Ibu Rose, patut ke sekolah dibuka secepat mungkin atau buka bila betul-betul confirm virus dah tak ada? Tak ada jaminan kan dah selamat kat luar sana. Budak-budak dah lah reckless pegang itu ini. Yes, as a grandmother, because my children are really big, as a grandmother, I would really pray. Actually, memang semai hajat pun that the school will not open until the pandemic is more in control. So we need to find a way how we can educate our children from home, so that the children will not be left behind. That is something that we need to do and think about that.
And if I were to bring in the perspective that Dr. Mafauzi mentioned, is that what we need to realize that we will need to accept the fact that we will live with COVID-19 for the rest of our life, because the virus is already there, and you do not eradicate that virus. Like flu virus is still here, SARS, MERS, it is still there. So it's about managing our activities to prevent the the infection. That's all. And the key thing is physical distancing. That's the key thing.
Yes,
The
it is.
behavior of physical.
And that need
Yeah.
to be taught and practiced, and this need to be really thoroughly thought properly before we bring our children to the school, because they need to learn about physical distancing. They need to understand the danger of the virus. They need to know how to take care of themselves, because we will not be there. We cannot expect the teachers to take care of 40 children, because it's not going to be easy. We take care of 4 children in our house pun, pecah sana, pecah sini, or everything go haywire. So I hope that people who are responsible and how do you say it, orang yang bertanggungjawab, they will really give this a proper thought before opening the school, because our children is very valuable to us. So we want to be able to make sure they are safe. So Rosnani, how should be the direction of parenting nowadays? The direction of parenting nowadays is still to help the children to be the best version of themselves. It's still that. It's still the vision. The things that we might have to adjust and maybe enhance will be the skills and the knowledge in order to bring them there. Saya tak pandai mengajar anak. Kalau mengajar jadi mak singa tapi cikgu tak dapat tolong kesian anak-anak saya macam mana nak buat, Ibu. Dan untuk Nur Cahaya, what you can do is that ajar sekadar yang boleh dulu. If you have a little bit of money, ada duit sikit, maka dapatkan tutor yang boleh ajar online. Itu yang Ibu suggest lah, ya sayang. I go very fast, Coach Mas, ya.
Maybe Ibu Rose, you can tell parents that they have a very big resource and that they can tap into the University of YouTube.
Yes, but yeah, I think Coach Mas, sometimes we really, when we have the time, you actually can help parents to actually help them how they can use the University of YouTube.
And when it comes to learning content, there is a lot of learning content that has been developed. One of them is Khan Academy. They have developed a lot of learning content. The thing about it is this: parents do not underestimate your children's ability to learn. Yeah, I got that. I got that big kick on the head when I realized that my grasshopper was following the psychology of development, crash course in developmental psychology. She followed that on YouTube. So, and at that time, she was I think about 9 years old. So do not underestimate the ability of your children to learn. So make use of those resources.
At the same time, when Coach Mas was saying that, the premise is still you need to learn to get your children to understand the rules and the boundaries so that they will not use the YouTube channel wrongly. So that comes to that the foundation balik lah, the foundation of our parenting. That's why in parenting it requires us. If I were to talk about parenting, it's not enough for just 1 hour, because parenting is a big topic by itself. So why some children can listen to their parents by just when the parents just say, "Can you please help me?" And some children, the parent will say in a nice tone, but they don't want to listen because the first parents, they have built the foundation correctly. The second one, maybe they miss something. So it is not just something that we can finish talking in 1 hour. And that's why I would like to invite for those yang mana yang tak berapa faham Ibu bercakap bahasa Inggeris kat sini, insya-Allah Ibu akan live dengan topik yang sama di Facebook Ibu, insya-Allah dalam minggu hadapan, supaya you get the best jawapannya pada soalan-soalan ni, banyak ni that I will answer, insya-Allah. And actually we speak more in English today, Coach Mas, without we realizing, but I hope that those who do not really well versed in English, yang tak berapa pandai bahasa Inggeris, is that they are okay, they still can follow. Oh, by the way, before we go, I hampir terlupa. Actually, I'm giving everyone an ebook for free. It is 17 ideas for successful parenting. I hope we are going to give that in the Coach Mas. We are going to give that here.
We'll send you an email tomorrow. With the link.
With the link. If we can have the link now pun boleh juga kan?
It's up there.
I hope that I hope that Anwar will put the link soon. If he's not putting the link, let me see. Coach Mas, can you talk first? Cakap dulu.
The link is there on the screen.
Yeah, it is on the screen, but I want to put it not on the screen, because if it is on the screen, they cannot click.
Okay. So now it is already 10:15, and I would like to thank all of you for being here. And I'm grateful for Ibu Rose for being here. So before we end, Ibu Rose, what would you like to say as a parting word, as something that you want to say uh, to the viewers before we end?
Okay, first and foremost, thank you so much for being with us this evening, and thank you for your question, for your comments. Thank you for participating. We have a lot of questions actually today, and I am sorry that I'm not able to answer some of the question, most of the question, and I hope that this is my prayer for everyone, that we will be able to become stronger. We'll be able to become a better version of ourselves, rise above these challenges, and just not just survive, but go beyond survival. Understand what's going on and actually ask the right question. See our family as a blessing in our life. Look at the eyes of each and every one of our children and thank God for them. Look into the eyes of your partner and really feel the love inside of you blossom, because we are in all this together. And send prayers to everyone that are with us, the teachers, our bosses, our workers. We are all in this together. Oh, our leaders, our country leaders, we are all in this together. So are we going to make this the best time of our life, that when we look back, we see ourselves as someone who is able to embrace challenges and rise above it and become a better person. And we see our children, learning that and become that version of human being. And when we can come together as a community, as a country, as a world, COVID-19 is about teaching us to create a better world. It's about teaching us to create a love world. So are we learning, or we just want to complain for the little things that is not really uh, as it used to be before? Or can we embrace the new normal and make it a wonderful things that is happening to us, and be grateful and be really, how do you say it? Capturing that every moment, because that's life is. Live our life meaningfully. Because at the end of the day, we will ask, have we made contribution to the world? Have we loved enough? Have we made this world a better place? And that we learn from the model of the world that we get from the first school that we are in, that is the school actually from our parents. And that's why parenting is so important.
So with that, thank you very much, Ibu Rose, for such a passionate and impactful presentation for today. I hope that all of you, my friends who are here watching this interview, you gain something that is valuable for yourself, and may whatever that you gain from here adds value to your life, and especially to the children, because when we talk about this pandemic, it is affecting us as a family unit. So that's why this topic is critical for all of us here, whether the family is between you and your spouse, or your family involves little children as well. It impacts family, and that is why we have this topic with respect to parenting. So before we end, I would just like to announce our session for tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll be meeting at 3 in the afternoon Malaysian time. It will be 3 in the afternoon Malaysian time. We'll be having our guest for tomorrow is Datuk Farida Hanim Harun, or more fondly known as Ibu Hanim, the president of NM's Leadership Solutions Sendirian Perhat. And she'll be speaking regarding how to sustain business in the new normal. So we are shifting gears again from finance today into parenting, and tomorrow we'll be going into business sustainability. So if you are in business for yourself, or you own your own business, or you are working in a business that has been affected by this pandemic, then you will want to be in the interview tomorrow with Ibu Hanim. We'll be meeting tomorrow at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And till then, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much for being here. And I look forward to seeing you in the session tomorrow. So with that, thank you, and take care, and may you be safe.